there! Welcome to Let's Talk Ghosts with SunRaye. I am your host, SunRaye. So this week on episode 3, I'm going to read some listener stories. I've gotten these stories. One was emailed to me, so thank you so much for utilizing that email. And 2 of them I got off of asking people to share their ghost stories with me on Reddit. And then at the end, I'm going to throw in one of my own. So this first one is from Jeremiah. He emailed me this, and he said, "Let's start by saying, as I started typing this, the disk compartment on my laptop opened on its own." Tell me those ghosts don't know they're talking. Alright, over time, there has been different things to happen, and not all for or to me. With my memory, I can't remember most of them. I know my mom has smelled a perfume, which I believe her mom, my grandma, always wore. May have been her grandma. Also have felt a breeze out of nowhere, one that you feel when someone walks by, so not a breeze like wind. Also, the most recent, I was left alone. My parents went out and they took the dogs with, so I was 100% alone. I heard a sound and it sounded like someone was in the kitchen. I slowly walked down to check, but no one was there. I went back to my room, and after sitting down, I heard someone at the door. I went to check, and no one was there either. Just different sounds. But I was the only one home. There has also been different things over time that was moved, and no one did it or took it. We've also seen that mysterious thing in pictures, what they say is a sighting of a ghost. I think my mom is the main one to experience things, and she believes there's at least 3 different ones in this house. So I emailed him back and asked him if he had any of those photos. Unfortunately, he does not have any pictures. His mom took those pictures and she probably no longer has them. It's been a while, probably at least 10 years. She does still smell the smell of perfume every once in a while, and all of us still hear things here and there. I get that feeling as if someone's there, but no one is. With that, a few days ago they left, so I was home alone. And I started hearing something downstairs. Due to the time, I wondered if they were back, and I didn't know. But the van was still gone, so I took the risk, and I slowly went downstairs, ready to defend myself, but no one was there. I went back upstairs to my room, and much later I heard the same noise in my parents' room, but same results. The noises stopped after my parents got back home, which was about 10 minutes after hearing the noises the second time. That's pretty creepy. Sounds like this ghost is maybe possibly trying to get Jeremiah's attention, by waiting till his parents leave and he's home alone to make some noises. Alright, that's my listener number 1 story. Thank you, Jeremiah, so much. Alright, my second story is from Puppies and Unicorn. I love the usernames on Reddit. So Puppies and Unicorn says, "My grandmother told me this story. Her aunt was walking down the stairs of their family home when suddenly she was pulled violently backwards from her hair. At that moment, the light fixture fell and would have killed her had she not been pulled back. My great aunt was very religious, so she attributes this occurrence to Mary, Mother of God, saving her. For us non-believers, it remains a mystery." I definitely think your grandma's aunt, I definitely think she had something watching over her and definitely did not want her to get hurt. Maybe a spirit guide, maybe a loved one, who knows? But that's pretty cool. She has someone watching her. Alright, so this one is from Mama Senior from Reddit. It says, "When I was in junior high, a friend of mine told me one day she was walking home from another friend's house and decided to take a shortcut through the cemetery. It was in the evening, but it was still daylight. Midway through, her back started to feel a little heavy, and she continued walking, trying to shake the feeling as she went. When she made it out of the cemetery, she felt the heavy feeling go away instantly. Then she heard a voice say, 'Thanks for the ride.' I laughed because I thought she was lying, but she swore it was true. I always think about that to this day whenever I see a cemetery. So this is not the story I plan to tell you guys about. But one time when I was younger, me and my mom, we love ghosts. My mom is a big ghost believer as well. So here in Colorado, there's this mountain town called Central City, and they have their own cemetery. Well, this cemetery is really, really, really old, and my mom took me up there when I was like 15, just in the middle of the night to go to the cemetery and be creepy. She had this really nice professional camera, and she was going to take pictures the whole entire time. And all the way up there, she took photos. While we were there, she took photos, and coming back down, she took photos. And the only photos that actually turned out on the camera were the ones going up there and coming back down. Every single photo we took at the cemetery were completely black. There was no images, nothing. It mind boggled us. So that happened there. The other thing that happened there was like all of the headstones were really super old and cracked and broken, all from like the 17 and the 1800s. And then there was this one that was from like 6 months prior to us being up there. A brand new one. It didn't even have an actual headstone yet, just a plaque, like, the ones that they put in the ground before they actually get the big headstones. So that really creeped me out. The whole entire time we were there, I had this really eerie feeling. Back in the day at these old cemeteries, they used to have these buildings that kind of looked like teepees made out of brick, and those were the crematoriums. Well, there was a crematorium there that we saw, and the whole half side of the building was knocked in and caved in. And my mom goes, "All right, go stand in that so I can get a picture of you. It's going to be really cool." And I was like, "Oh, okay, 15 years old, okay, let me go do it." Well, I'm a sensitive. I've been a sensitive my entire life. And I took one step in there, and I couldn't put my other foot inside the circle. I could not. I immediately got this really heavy feeling, and I couldn't breathe, and I literally felt like I was being pushed down. And I was telling my mom, I was like, "Mom, I feel like I'm being pushed down. Like, hurry up and take this picture. I can't handle this." And the second she took the picture, I jumped right out of it and flew out of it, and that feeling immediately went away. So cemeteries, I have experienced what your friend, Mama Senior, I have experienced what your friend did. It is pretty creepy. But yeah, that was a good trip. As an adult now, just like my grandma's house, I want to go back. Maybe one of these days I'll get to. Alright, so those were my listener stories. I really, really appreciate you guys submitting your stories. I definitely want to get more. Alright, so this is my own story that I'm contributing. So this is current too. I work at this gas station that's local. It's like 2 blocks away from me. I live in a really old neighborhood. A lot of the houses over here are 100 plus years old. So it's pretty old, and it's unincorporated. So my job, I work at a little gas station. It's literally like a little itty bitty mom and pop kind of gas station. And it's been about 6 months since I started working there, and I have seen a lot of different things. I've seen shadow figures out of the corner of my eye. This one time it tripped me out. I'd only been working there for maybe a month, and I saw this girl come in, and she had a red hoodie on, was up, on her head, and she had her hand like this, covering her face. And she came in really, really fast. And then I never saw her again. I was waiting for her to come up to the counter, and then eventually I looked up, and I kind of looked around the store, and like, where did this girl go? And we have a doorbell on our door, so I definitely would have known if she left, and the register's right at the door. I would have seen her leave. So I'm like, what is going on? And I go and I look all over the store, every single aisle. I'm saying, hello, hello, is anybody in here? And I'm like, well, maybe she, there's some weird people in this neighborhood. Maybe she went in my cooler or something, And I went and I checked in the cooler and I checked in the back stock room and I checked this store high and low because that girl never left. Couldn't find her. Could not find her anywhere. Haven't seen her since, but to this day I'm like, and she was full figured, like flesh and body and everything. So that's the ghost I've actually seen there. When I'm doing paperwork and stuff and people are coming in and out, I think I see a lot of people come in and it'll only be one or two customers. One or two physical bodies in the store. And I'll be like looking around the store like, I know I just seen like at least 2 more people come in. Like 4 people have come in here and there'll only be 2 in there. So that's definitely odd to me. Just a couple of days ago, this was confirmation for me. But just a couple of days ago, this girl was in there and it was just me and her. And she went to go buy a vape pen. Well, the rules on the vape pens is you have to bust it open and try it out in the store to make sure that it works. And so she was doing that. She made her purchase and she busted it open. She goes, oh, let me get out of the way. There's somebody behind me. And she got all of her stuff behind her and then she looked. There was nobody behind her. And I was kind of looking at her too like, you don't have to rush. It's all right. She goes, no, girl, I seriously felt that energy behind me. Like there was somebody else in the store. And I was like, it's really funny that you say that because I've seen a ghost in here before. And I told her about the shadow figures and stuff. And she's like, I definitely believe it because I could definitely feel the energy of somebody standing behind me in line. And she's like, there's nobody there. I can't believe it. So that happened. That was confirmation for me, most definitely. So, unfortunately, this is all the stories I have in my little cushy. Maybe I could tell you a little bit something about her. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a ghost story, but more of a familiar kind of type thing, if you've ever heard of one. So I am gifted. I can see spirits. And ever since I've really opened myself up and tapped into that ability, I see things all the time. Well, I had been noticing that out of the corner of my eye, I could see people in the hallway at my house. I could see people in the hallway. And I looked at on, and it would be my cat. I have 2 of them, 2 little black kitties. And it happens to both of them. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm either seeing their spirit or they're my familiars. And I was just like, wow. So I asked my Reiki master about it. I asked my Reiki master about it and she goes, well, do they sit with you when you do your energy work or your magic? And I was like, yeah, actually, this one, she kind of wanders around me. And my littlest, Blaze, she always sits at my feet every single time. And she's like, yeah, they're your familiars. They actually assist you in your energy healings and stuff. And you are seeing their spirits. So I thought that was pretty freaking amazing. Made me really bond with my animals a little bit more to know that we're connected more than just this regular level. Yeah. Yes, isn't that right? Oh my goodie. She's so cute too because she has like a patch underneath her neck. Isn't that cute? So those are my stories for the week. Again, I'm really, really sorry that there's not more. This episode doesn't seem to be lasting as long as the other ones. My goal is for like a half an hour. So do me a favor. And if you have a story, please, please, please submit them to me. My email is letstalkghosts22@gmail.com. And I will be so excited, so happy, and you guys have no idea if you guys submit your stories. The other thing is I got my Patreon started back up, and it's rolling. I got my tiers set up and everything. You have a $5 tier, a $10 tier, and a $50 tier. All of those tiers come with something different. You'll get to watch every episode of Let's Talk Ghosts. You'll get to see me and my Reiki action, sometimes my tarot action. I'll be talking about a lot of different spiritual things. You'll also get stickers and t-shirts and shout outs and tarot card readings and Reiki healings, all within the different tiers. So definitely go and check that out. It's patreon.com/sunrayki. It's SUNRAYKI. That is my Patreon. So definitely check that out, because it would be a blessing to actually be able to make these kind of things my actual career. I would love to dedicate all of my energy and time to Let's Talk Ghosts, ghost investigations, energy healing, tarot reading. I'm very spiritual. So yeah, definitely check that out. I really appreciate you guys being here with me today, and I will catch you next time. Stay creepy.